Hey, and welcome to another Cotton Boll and Consumer Judging practice class. Today, we are going to be exploring the world of smartwatches. So what makes a watch a smartwatch? So besides telling the time, they often do just as much as your cell phone would do. Some can track your health like a Fitbit, others make calls, you can text, play music, and a whole bunch more. So there's tons of options on the market. Let's see what makes them different. So let's start with the biggest factor, which is usually price. Prices vary wildly for smartwatches, with some of the lower end models costing less than about 50 bucks, and some of the higher end fashion and performance watches costing several $1,000s. Take, for example, this Timex device, iConnect by Timex. This is from Amazon or Walmart, and it's listed for only $49.99. Compare that to this designer Mark Driver watch, and it costs more than $2,500. And most of us are familiar with the Apple brand watches, the Apple Watch. This is a Series 5, which is the newest one, and it's available at Target for about 500 bucks. Another thing to consider when thinking about a smartwatch is the band. So you definitely want whatever band you choose to be comfortable. But you need to also consider where you plan on wearing your watch. Like if you were a swimmer, you wouldn't want a fabric band or a metal band. You'd probably want one that was made out of rubber or silicone. Some of the lower end models don't have interchangeable bands, so you're kind of stuck with the one it came with. So you got to make sure that you like the color and things like that. Others have interchangeable bands, so you can get like a sporty one for a sports situation and mix it up maybe with something a little bit fancier, nicer, leather, metal, something like that. So here's a nice example of a metal band. The screen is also something that you guys want to consider, and it comes in a lot of different shapes and sizes. Most smartwatches are touch screen, but some of them also have the addition of knobs and dials on the sides, similar to a more traditional watch. So here's an example of a stopwatch function on the side, as well as the dial used to set the time. Like any electronic device, smartwatches have to be recharged. So this is usually daily. They usually average about 12 hours. And similar to your cell phone, the more you use it, the quicker the battery life runs down. So you got to consider that if you're planning on using it constantly throughout the day. Most watches also connect via Bluetooth to your cell phone, or they're able to connect through Wi-Fi. And some of the newer models, like the Series 5 Apple Watch, actually will let you sign up for a 4G LTE plan, and you can use it without a phone. If you choose a watch that connects to your phone, you're definitely going to want to think about compatibility. Think about if it'll connect. So Apple Watches only connect to iPhones. So if you have an Android device, this is not the option that you want to go for. And some even connect to wireless headphones, or most do. So you can listen to music even without your phone. And you can call or text someone. So some smartphones have a keyboard, and some let you dictate your text, which means to say it out loud, like, "Hey Siri." And you can also get notifications from apps like Facebook and Instagram, and notifications when you receive texts. One of the advantages of a smartwatch is the health tracking feature. So many track your sleep cycles, your steps taken, heart rate. Some even remind you to take a break and reduce your stress. And of course, we can't forget that they should also have a clock function since it is a watch. And they'll often let you set alarms and reminders. And finally, when you're thinking about what kind of activity you're going to use it for, you might want to consider if it's waterproof. Most of them are at least water resistant, but if you're planning on going swimming for a long amount of time, you want to make sure that the one that you choose is definitely considered waterproof. All right, let's look at a possible scenario of shopping for a smartwatch. So Emily wants a smartwatch to help her record her laps while running cross country. Her mom likes the idea of having a way to talk to Emily while she's out on long runs, but Emily doesn't like to carry a phone with her while she's running. It would also be an added bonus if she could listen to music while she's running, and her family already subscribes to Verizon. So there's a lot to unpack here. So let's think about some of the important words. What would be our first important word or phrase for this one, do you guys think? I chose that the first one would be Emily wants to record her laps. So she wants some sort of fitness tracking. Next, I chose that her mom wants to get in touch with her. So she needs some way, whether it's through call or text, to send messages and receive messages from Emily. Emily also wants music. And here we see that Emily doesn't like to carry a phone, so it would be helpful if the smartwatch was able to connect to 4G LTE, meaning it had its own plan, so she didn't even need a smartphone. So again, we're going to have 4 choices. We're going to have choice number 1, 2, 3, and 4 written across the top. And then we're going to write our important words along the first column. So remember, it's important for Emily to have fitness tracking. She needs call text because her mom wants to get in touch with her. She needs her phone to work, or her smartwatch to work without a phone. And it's an added bonus if she's able to play music through her smartwatch. So let's check our choice number 1. This is a TIC Watch Pro 4G LTE cellular smartwatch, GPS, NFC, Wear OS by Google Android, and so on. So let's first check, does it have fitness tracking? Let's look through some of the screenshots here and see if it has fitness tracking. We see that it does. So it does detect motion, tracks running, fast walking, swimming activities. So we'll put a check mark here because it does meet that criteria. Does it allow Emily's mom to call and text? Yep. Connects via cellular connectivity for Verizon phone plan users. Does it work without a phone? Yeah, you can buy a plan for this from Verizon. We see at the top in the title that it does allow you to connect via 4G LTE cellular network. But remember, with this, you're going to have to buy a plan. And music. It does give you the option of playing music. So that meets Emily's criteria of being able to listen to music while she runs. And even though I didn't put this as a category, I like to just note the price because this might help in our final decision to choose between 2 really hard choices. So on the bottom here, I've put the price. It was $291.99 and free shipping from Amazon. So I've just put this as a side note to myself. All right, now let's look at choice number 2. This one should look familiar. We saw it earlier. This is the iConnect by Timex active smartwatch. We start again with the fitness tracking, and it shows that yes, it does track all kinds of fitness. What about call and text? Can we see anything on here where it might mention calling and texting? Yeah, it says we can get all these notifications: Facebook, email, text, weather updates, all kinds of stuff. But if we look at the bottom here, we see that it doesn't actually work without a phone. And it has a music controller only, and it doesn't play music really without a phone. So I just put down here, it plays music, but only with a phone. And again, I do like to just include the price, just in case 2 of these choices are super hard, we can compare them. So this choice was $49.99, super affordable. All right, let's look at our third choice. It is a Series 5 Apple Watch with cellular. So cellular, again, is that 4G LTE. Has all kinds of bells and whistles to track your fitness. It definitely allows you to call and text, and it has built-in cellular. So you can call and text without the need of having your phone with you. But again, this feature does come at an additional price, so you'll want to consider that. And this one even allows you to download and store music and podcasts on it. So it does play music even without a phone. And again, I stuck the price down there. This one on Amazon, I believe, is $514. We'll see the note at the bottom here that it does work with any cellular plan. Remember, Emily has Verizon, so it would definitely work with Verizon because it works with any of them. All right, our last choice. This is also an Apple product. This is a Series 3 Apple Watch, and it has lots of fitness tracking. So probably the same types of features that the Series 5 had. It also can connect via Bluetooth to your cell phone, so it can call and text if you have your phone. But it doesn't work without a phone. And just like option number 2, you can only really play music when you have a phone. And I've put the price down at the bottom for this one. This one is substantially less than a Series 5 Apple Watch at $169. So now that we have all of the criteria here, let's rank this from best to worst. So just like always, let's look and see if there's any that really stand out as clear winners or clear losers. Let's see, does anybody see one that might be a winner? Well, I didn't, but we can definitely find a top pair and a bottom pair, right? So number 1 and number 3 would be our top pair because they meet all the criteria. And number 2 and 4 would probably be our bottom pair because each of them is similar, except for they both require you to have a phone with you. The scenario didn't really mention money as a factor, but I feel like it's wise to choose more affordable choices if everything else is the same. So when I'm thinking about ranking the top pair, I'm going to take that into consideration. And I'm going to look and I'm going to say, well, choice number 1 is $291, while choice number 3 is $514. So I actually chose choice number 1 over product number 3 because of the price. Even though that wasn't in our scenario, I felt like that might make a difference to Emily's mom when considering what smartwatch to buy. So we'll do the same thing with the bottom pair. So number 2 and number 4 both meet two really out of 4 of her criteria. So how would you judge number 2 and number 4? What order would you put them on? Again, I looked at price as the deciding factor. So I chose number 2 over number 4 because you can't buy either of these with a phone plan with 4G LTE, and the music only works when you have a cell phone. So if you're going to have to carry a cell phone with you, then it's probably best to get the more affordable choice. So now we have our order from best to worst, and we'll have to remember how to fill in our judging placing sheet. So you guys know how to do this. You simply find the number that matches 1, 3, 2, 4, and that's going to be in the first column this time because it starts with the number 1. So you'll see right here is number 1, 3, 2, 4. And once we've done that, we can prepare for our oral reasons. And again, we aren't going to be given the opportunity to give oral reasons for all of our categories, but it's good to know how to do it for any of them just in case we can. So in this example, we're going to say, I placed this class of smartwatches, then we put our order 1, 3, 2, 4. In the top pair, I placed number 1 over number 3 because number 1 meets all of the criteria. I do grant that number 3 has the same features, but I fault it for being the most expensive. And on this one, I said it was actually a hard pair, and I said they were similar except for price, which wasn't in the scenario, but I felt it was better to get the most affordable choice. In my middle pair, I placed number 3 over number 2 because 3 meets all of Emily's needs. I fault 2 because it won't allow Emily's mom to call or text if she doesn't have a phone. I said this was an easy pair because number 2 didn't meet all of Emily's needs while number 3 did. Now moving on to the bottom pair, I placed number 2 over number 4 because number 2 had similar features to number 4, but it was less expensive. And I placed 4 at the bottom because it shares the same features as 2, but it's more expensive. I said this was a hard pair again because they were really similar except for price, which wasn't listed as an important keyword in Emily's scenario. And to conclude, for these reasons, I placed this class of smartwatches 1, 3, 2, 4. All right, guys, that's all we have with smartwatches. So make sure that you've watched the videos for vending machine snacks in the introduction. Make sure you've seen the video for pajama pants, gym memberships, and cotton commercials. You'll need to watch all 5 of the videos to be prepared for the competition. And again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us at the office, to Miss Donna. Again, her email is donnast@uga.edu, and the telephone number is 912-554-7576. All right, see y'all soon.